Hello and welcome to Susu's Kindergarten Videos. I am once again on the New River Trail in the Lone Ash area. And as I said before, this is a linear trail that reaches from Pulaski to Galax. It's about 57 miles long and it's a wonderful place to bike ride, which I am doing today. And I decided it was a perfect day to come out and look for more wildflowers. And I've really gotten lucky right off the bat here by finding Perfoliate Bellwort. Now, this is a beautiful, bright, yellow, bell-shaped flower that hangs down. And it's called Perfoliate because, as you can see right here, the leaf looks like it comes straight up out. The stem comes straight up out of the leaf there, and it looks like the leaf is clasping around the stem. So that's how you know that this is Perfoliate Bellwort instead of large-leafed bellwort. The large-leaf bellwort does not come through, the stem doesn't come through the leaf like that. But it's a beautiful little native wildflower. It's native to southeastern United States. And up on the bank here, there are several others growing. And you can see how the bellflowers hang down there. And it's early April, so it is an April blooming wildflower, and they go on further up the bank, if you can see there up ahead. So Perfoliate Bellwort, beautiful native wildflower. Here we have Spring Beauty. And this is a very delicate little wildflower that you can see has these pink stripes in the petals of the flower. And sometimes they will just be white. So the flower really can vary just a little bit in what you see, but I really like the ones that have the pink stripes in them. I think they're very, very attractive. And you can see it's very low growing to the ground, and it has these narrow leaves that go along with it. And you'll find them a lot of times in little groups, sprawling across the ground. But Spring Beauty, a very cute little dainty wildflower. Now here is an interesting find. You really have to look hard for this one because it's very small. The flowers are only about an inch across, and it's dark. It's almost a purplish color with a yellow center, and this is called Papoose root or blue Cohosh. Is what many people may know this by. And you can see the leaves have not unfurled on this one. And it's kind of, the leaves are tightly closed. And the stem is a dark purple. And it branches off into 4 segments here for the leaves. And the flowers are right there in the center. But very tiny, delicate little flower. This traditionally was used by the Indians as herbal medication, but that's not something that I would really recommend. Over here, we have one that has already unfurled. There was no flower on this one, but you can see the shape, and you have these 3 lobes and points, but very interesting. And here you see there's another one coming up right beside this one that's just a little bit later, that is still just immature. But fascinating little wildflower here. This is not something I really would have noticed, and that's one thing that I should really emphasize about looking for wildflowers is you really have to take your time and stop and look, because you can walk by just the most beautiful thing if you're really not paying attention. But this is a pretty cool little wildflower. Blue Cohosh. Just so you can see, this is another blue Cohosh that has unfurled the leaves, and it also has a flower on it that has opened up just a little bit more, but it is still very small and on the purplish side, so very difficult to spot. You can also see the buds here behind that are going to open up here shortly. But you can see also the shape of the leaves and how they are once they open up. Very interesting. It is wonderful in the spring when you can find Trillium blooming on the New River Trail. This is red Trillium, and it is the beginning of April, and you can see how beautiful this flower is. And what is very interesting about Trillium is everything is in threes. You can see here we have 3 leaves. These are separated. They look like they're all together, but they're not. 3 separate leaves. On the back, the sepals, there's 3 sepals here. And there's also 3 petals. And again, this is red Trillium. And it is just beautiful. You can also see that it comes up from the leaves on a small stalk here, stem, that holds it right above the leaves. Red Trillium. And I'm on an embankment here. I had to climb this embankment to get to the red Trillium. And you can see here where there are also dutchman's breeches blooming, which we covered that in our last video. And they are really in full force right now. They are blooming all along the banks here. But the prize today is red Trillium. There are lots of rocky slopes along the New River Trail. You'll see them along the way, and don't forget to look within the rocks, because oftentimes the wildflowers will grow out of the crevices of the rocks. And this is Columbine, and you'll often see them growing just about anywhere because they can tolerate the dryness that these situations provide. But it's such a beautiful flower. You can see it really looks like a crown, like a king would wear. But the spurs that come out the back, there are 5, and you can see those. And then inside is where the flower parts are, and it's not only red but yellow on the inside. And you can see the pistils and stamens and all the parts of the flowers coming out of there. It's a good example to really review your parts of the flower. There's some buds that are still coming on, and you can see here the foliage that's coming out of the rocks. And Columbine, or it's also referred to as Aquilegia, that's the genus that Columbine are in. And you can get these at your nursery or garden center if you really want them. And they come in a variety of colors. whites, pinks, blues, red, just all sorts, and they reseed in your garden, which is what I love about Columbine. So this is a pretty cool one, and they, I think, are just beginning to bloom along the New River Trail because I haven't seen too many of these today. Here we have early meadow rue, and again, this is another wildflower that you can just walk right past if you're not paying attention. It's only about 10 inches tall, and you can see the delicate little flowers that hang down like little tassels or fringe, you know, like you would have on a curtain or something. But very interesting little flower that just dangles and kind of shimmers just a little bit when you move it. The leaves are very delicate as well, and it's typical for most rue plants. There's also a tall meadow rue that blooms a little bit later on in the summer. That looks totally different than this one, but it is in the ranunculus family, and there are quite a few species of Thalictrums is what genus it's in. But I just love this particular early meadow rue because of how their flowers just dangle down like tassels. So much fun. Glad I was able to spot this one today. Early meadow rue. As I've ridden my bike along the New River Trail today, the Dutchman breeches have been so prolific. Everywhere I've looked, they've been growing and blooming. And it's been just so exciting to see. So I wanted to leave you with this visual of these wildflowers blooming along the New River Trail. And I really encourage you to get out and commune with nature. It really is fulfilling and beautiful. And so much changes in just a few days and weeks. So I really, really, truly encourage you to get out and explore, even if it's just your backyard, because there's always something to discover in the springtime when things are really unfurling and growing and blooming. So I hope you enjoy as much as I have these wildflowers that I've discovered today. Over and out from Susu's Garden. Love you.